Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Art with Mrs. M. Again, we are talking about weaving. I just did a video to show how to do a paper weaving, like this one here on the left. And it's rather simple. It's one of those things that almost anyone can do with the right tools. All we used for this was a pair of scissors, a couple of markers, and a ruler. We also use strips of paper, construction paper. So now let's see. I know that some of you are anxious to use yarn and do something that's soft and fluffy. I have these colors of yarn here, a little pink ball of yarn here, and I have a needle. Not everyone might have a needle for crafts or weaving, but I have a substitution for that. If you have some kind of twine, that might be great for preparing your loom as well, but not everyone has this, so I'm just going to set this to the side and use regular yarn. I have some examples here that were done by students who never completed, moved away, or what have you, and the yarn project here, this weaving is still on the loom. This person here figured out how to leave a little space, add some beads, beautiful cool colors on this one. I love this one. It has sort of a zigzag pattern because there are a lot of diagonals in here, and this person figured out how to do that with a beautiful color palette. I like the pink and blue together. This one here wasn't completed. Oh, it says Raven on here, and this is how she came up with her own way to get the yarn through using a piece of cardboard. And this is just like the flap off of a box of cookies or cereal or crackers here. Something else that she did that was pretty clever was she made her yarns alternate colors so that she could remember what to do. So I'm going to show you a little bit how you do this by just demonstrating this pink, and then there's brown. So the last yarn here went across the pink, and so now we're going to go over the brown. So I'm going under the pink, under the pink, under the pink, and you just keep going under the pink. It takes two hands to do this, and under the pink. So from the right, I'm going under the pink. So then you pull, 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 and pull till you get to the end of this yarn. Don't pull it too tight. There. And then push it down a little bit. And now this time, I'm going over the pink and under the brown. So under the brown, under the brown, under the brown. I actually like this piece of cardboard a little bit better than the needle because it's flexible and it can bend back and forth and get you right through. And then you pull, 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 pull. There. And let's do under the pink one more time. Under the pink, under the pink, under the pink. And so basically you're going under every other piece of the yarn. The strings that go up and down on this loom are called the warp. W-A-R-P, warp. And I remember that because it reminds me of strings on a harp. Warp, harp. Let's do under the brown one more time. This is addictive. You'll find that when you start weaving, it's hard to stop. You might have something else to do or somewhere else to be. So this is something you take with you in the car. Road trip. Definitely will be something to keep your hands and mind busy during a road trip. And see how lovely that looks? Now these are kind of loose. Once you squish them together, you can't really see the pink and brown yarns anymore. Okay, I'm going to set these aside, all of these, and show you how to make one of your own using a box. So we like Cheez-Its in my house. So I'm not using this big piece because I don't want my loom to be gigantic. So I'm going to take the ruler and find where half might be, or just pick a good number. I don't want it to be too long. So this is about 10 inches. Good. Perfect. Half of 10 is 5, so I'm going to make a mark at 5 right here. And turn it around and make a mark at 5 on the other side. And then I'm going to connect those marks with my ruler, making this as straight as I can. Somehow that looks crooked, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So many times people get hung up with perfection, and perfection is rarely achieved. Let's just do the best we can. Okay, so I'm going to put this other piece to the side. I even have the flaps, so I can use that for the needle, my fake needle. All right, so next, let's make some marks at the top and marks at the bottom so we can cut some slits to make our loom. All right, so let's see. I'm going to make a mark at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, right there at the top. I'm not going to make a mark at 5. It sort of is already there from the first time. All right, put your ruler at the end. Make a mark at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very good. Next, I'm going to make a mark halfway between those marks so that I can have 1/2 inch spaces. And I'm not even using a ruler. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm measuring it with my eyes. Very good. Now those marks are perfect, the perfect size for how deep these slits need to be. They don't need to be very deep at all. So I'm just going to stay on the mark. I'm not going to cut in very far at all. I'm trying to make all of them about the same length. Good. Turn around and do the other side. This is a way to reuse common things that we have in our homes. Okay, so I've made the slits. You can see them there sort of as the light shines on there. You can see them easier with the side that is plain. I'm going to take this pink and I'm going to start on the back. Find the middle, and I'm just going to hold that string right there in the middle. But I'm going to start with this first slit, and I am going to tuck it in there and bring it to the bottom that corresponds straight across and tuck it in there. Then I'm going to come around the back, and I'm going to come up to the top and tuck it in that slit and come straight down. And again, I'm going around the back and tuck it in. Here we go. So I'm going to keep going, tucking it in, and I'm just wrapping this yarn around and tucking it in, making sure these strings are almost as tight as the ones on the front, not too tight. If you make your strings too tight, this piece of cardboard is going to bend and it's going to look like it's curved like a bowl. So we still want it to be flat, so try not to pull it too tight, but just tight enough. And after you do this a couple of times, you'll figure that out. All right, so now on the back, you'll see where I was holding this one string near the middle. And so we're going to take this piece and we're going to make it just a little bit longer than that first one was and cut it off. All right. These two ends, they're opposite ends, they're diagonals. Oops. You're going to tie them in a double knot. So just cross them over, pull, and make a knot, and then make a double knot. I like to do a double knot just to make sure it doesn't slip out and come untied. There. So once you've done your double knot, this is the back, of course, and here is the front. Now you're ready to weave. I'm going to choose my favorite color. I'm going to pull this green one out. Wow, this is long. Oh, it's not as long as I thought it was. And there are ways to make your own needle by using the flap from the cardboard. So I'm going to take this extra piece off. And let's see, I'm going to make it about the same length all the way across. I think I'm going to curve it to make it easier to go through. So I'm going to cut it so it's curved, it's rounded on the edge right there. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a little slit right here. And I'm going to make a little diagonal line here, so I have a little notch that looks like, yeah, the letter Y, and then cut it so there's a hole there. If that doesn't work for you, just cut a slit. All right. I'm just going to slide this in to here, and then I'm going to tie it on. Maybe it needs to be a little bit longer. I'm going to tie it in a knot. There. And now I can start weaving. Under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And then pull, pull, pull. And just like I showed you with the first one. Oops, when I get to the end, I like to tuck this one right here in this first notch to keep it from popping out. All right, this last one was under. And so when I go across this way, I'm going to go the opposite. I'm going to go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and pull, pull, pull. Pull to the end and not too tight. And keep going. Now I need to go under, over, under, over, under, over. I like having this red piece of cardboard. It helps me to be able to see it better. And pull, pull, pull. This is one of the most relaxing things that you can do. If you're feeling stressed, weave something. Get some yarn and make something. It is so relaxing. You want to know why Grandma likes to knit and crochet? It's relaxing. It calms the soul. It calms the mind. It relaxes the body. It gives you something to do with your hands quietly and peacefully. Doesn't require you to be able to draw like a master. This is something that you can master really easy. Over, under, over, under, over, under. And I think I can get it through there one more time, and then I'm going to stop the video and let you get to making your own. So now I'm going to go, this last one was under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And slide it through. Voila. Once you get to the end, you can untie it or cut it. I'm just going to cut. I'm going to smush it down, scrunch it together. It looks so much better. It's so beautiful. And so weaving is something that's very relaxing and very fun. I can take this off now, throw that away, get another color, and keep going. When you're done, you just have to cut these strings to take it off, and voila, you have something beautiful. I hope you give this a try. Let me see what you come up with. Dollar Tree has all kinds of yarn. I'm sure you have scissors at home and a ruler and cardboard left over from somewhere. This can be done. That doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It can be done easily by someone like you. I hope to see you again sometime soon. Come back and make more cool stuff with me. Remember, art makes you smart.